Good afternoon and welcome to the Reporter Sports Show. We're at Bowerfold this week to look at Stalybridge Celtic's ambitious plans to rejuvenate the ground. We'll also be looking ahead to this weekend's fixtures, including a big derby at Surrey Street between Glossop and Droylsden. Well, as we're at Bowerfold this week, we'll start by looking at Stalybridge Celtic. They picked up 4 points in their battle against the drop, starting with a 1-1 draw at Sutton Coldfield before beating Stafford Rangers 2-0 on Tuesday night. While things are picking up on the pitch, they're a bit unclear off the pitch. 12 months ago, Stalybridge announced their intentions to move stadium, but not a lot's happened since. So, Mark, can you tell us what's going on?
Well, yeah, Chairman Rob Gorski held a meeting here at Bowerfold on Monday night. It was a public meeting attended by quite a few fans, and basically he's outlined a few things. So he's hoping basically for 2 phases at Bowerfold, the first of which is an artificial pitch at the stadium which will be rented out to the community, and the first team and academy will also play on it. He's also hoping to build a building behind either one of the goals here, which will be 2 stories. The top floor will be specifically for a banqueting facility, that hosts 600 people, while the bottom floor will contain a creche and lecture rooms for the academy players. So it's looking bright, although apparently not much is happening at the moment.
Well, it's certainly ambitious, Lee. What's your view on it?
I think ambitious, but I think it's necessary. I mean, you look at the 2 clubs in the area that are doing quite well at the moment, Curzon Ashton and Hyde. They've both got artificial pitches, haven't they? And the facilities off the field that let them rake in that money and invest it in the playing squad. I mean, if they can get a banquet hall here, there's not really much like that in the area, you know, something that big, that'd be fantastic for them for the money they bring in.
Apparently Gorski said that 48% of people who live in Tameside have to travel outside the borough to use an artificial pitch, so it's there for the taking, isn't it? A lot of people will want to play on it.
Well, this weekend, Stalybridge Celtic make the journey to Mickleover Sports. We'll stay in the Evo Stick Premier Division and talk about Ashton United, whose title chances took a big blow with a 3-2 defeat to Altrincham last weekend. The Robins are now 13 points behind leaders Altrincham. They have got a game in hand, Mark, but is it over now?
I think so. Even if they win that game in hand, they're still 10 points behind Altrincham. I think Altrincham proved their worth on Tuesday night. They were 3-0 up in that game, but 2 late goals from the Robins made for an entertaining end to the clash. What do you think, Lee?
Yeah, I mean, I think, unfortunately, I think the title ambitions are over, but there's no reason they can't still make the playoffs, you know. It'd be fantastic for the club again to get into the playoffs, and they're against Colville this weekend, haven't they? Now, Colville haven't won in 5, so I think this is a game they've really got to be looking at winning. I mean, they're not a great team at the minute, Colville. Ashton on the up. Just need 3 points.
It did mark the end of that unbeaten run on Tuesday night as well. That stretched back all the way to mid-October. So it was a disappointing night, but all in all this season, it's been fantastic, especially given the injury woes.
Well, let's move up to the National League North now, where Curzon Ashton's relegation fears have deepened after a 2-1 defeat to Kidderminster Harriers on Monday night. Mark, I know we keep on saying it, but they really are in trouble, Curzon.
Massively in trouble. All you've got to do is look at the table. The table doesn't lie. I've been saying it for weeks now. Curzon need a goal scorer. If they don't find a goal scorer soon, they are going to go down. That's my prediction, because I don't think they have the strength in depth to keep up this to keep themselves up this season.
6 games without a win, Lee. 1 point from safety. Are you worried for them?
It's relegation form, isn't it? I mean, they need to turn it around. They need to turn it around quick. Like Mark says, they need a goal scorer. Goals have been a problem, but where do you find one at this late stage of the season? There's probably not many that aren't without a team at the minute. So unfortunately, I think they're stuck where they are.
Well, they have signed Ben McKenna this week. Of course, he used to play for Stalybridge Celtic. He's joined from Stockport County. Didn't really see why he didn't get much game time at County. I know a lot of the fans rated him. Maybe he had a fallout with Jim Gannon, but I think that's Curzon's advantage there.
Well, this weekend, Curzon make the long trip east to Boston United, who sit in 11th place. Could Boston make a late push for the playoffs, do you think?
Well, you'd certainly think so, wouldn't you, judging by the last 5 games? They've won 4 and drawn 1, and I mean, manager Craig Elliott's been pretty much of a revelation since he's taken over, hasn't he? And he's saw him surge up the table, and I think they could be up there come the end of the season.
Definitely.
Well, let's move into the Evo Stick First Division North now, where Hyde United boosted their title chances with a 4-0 hammering of Clitheroe, but Glossop and Droylsden's playoff chances took a hit as they got beat by South Shields and Tadcaster Albion respectively. Mossley ended their awful run of form with a 2-0 win over Colwyn Bay. So looking ahead to this weekend, Mark, where's the big game?
The big game's at Surrey Street. It's Glossop v Droylsden. Just 1 point separate the sides at the moment. Glossop do have the advantage heading into this game. Droylsden on a pretty poor run of form at the moment. I don't think any of us expected them to get anything out of last weekend's game against South Shields. South Shields running away with it this season. So it's finally poised to be a decent game.
Yeah, I'd certainly say so. Like I say, I mean, it was disappointing to see Hyde's loss against South Shields, wasn't it? Because I think that sort of confirms South Shields as champions for me. I think Hyde is still technically with a chance, but I can't see it myself.
Well, Hyde are hosting Colne this weekend at Ewan Fields, and despite sort of the different league positions, well, you shouldn't underestimate Colne.
No, Colne had a terrible start to the season, didn't they? But, you know, it's 5 games unbeaten now for Colne. They're running right up the table. I think they could be in with a contention of playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, then Colne on a really good run of form at the moment, as you just said. Then I reckon if they maintain this form, then they're playoff contenders as well. So for Hyde, I think it's important to bounce back from Tuesday's loss at Stockport Town. That was in the Cheshire Senior Cup. Let's not forget, they're still in the Manchester Premier Cup. It's a semi-final clash next Tuesday against current holders F.C. United. So that'll be a cracking game.
Huge game.
Well, finally this weekend, Mossley hosts Scarborough Athletic at Seal Park in what's sure to be a very tough game. That's all we've got time for this week, but don't forget, for a more in-depth roundup of all the sport across the borough, you can tune into the Sporting Spotlight on Tameside Radio tonight at 6 o'clock with Mark.